The world has seen oil shocks before. In the 1970s, a disruption in oil supply alone was enough to trigger inflation, recession, and a complete reset of the global economy. But what's happening right now might be even bigger, because this time it's not just oil. It's oil, gas, and the entire energy system all at once. Over the past few days, the Israel-Iran war has taken a dangerous turn. It began with strikes on Iran's own gas infrastructure, including the massive South Pass field, knocking out a significant portion of its production. Iran responded with a clear warning. Its Revolutionary Guard declared energy facilities across the Gulf as legitimate targets, including refineries and LNG hubs. And then, that warning turned into action. Iran struck Qatar's Laffan, the world's largest LNG hub, damaging key facilities and cutting roughly 17% of global LNG export capacity, with repairs expected to take years. This wasn't just retaliation. This was escalation. Because there's a reason why energy infrastructure has almost always been kept off limits in wars. Not out of morality, but out of fear. When you hit energy, you don't just hit your enemy, you hit the global system. Prices spike, supply chains freeze, countries far from the conflict start feeling the impact within days. And that's exactly why this moment is different. Because that line has now been crossed and the consequences are already quite visible. The International Energy Agency, the body responsible for global energy stability, has issued a stark warning. According to its chief, the current disruption is worse than the combined oil crisis of the 1970s. The numbers are staggering. More than 11 million barrels of oil per day have already been disrupted globally, exceeding even the 1970s crisis. At the same time, gas supply has also taken a massive hit, which makes this not just an oil crisis, but a full-scale energy crisis. And the world is already reacting. The IEA has released hundreds of millions of barrels from emergency reserves, the largest such move ever, and is preparing for more. But here's the uncomfortable truth. These reserves are not a solution. They are a temporary buffer. They can stabilize prices for a few weeks, maybe buy some time, but they don't repair damaged LNG plants, they don't reopen the blocked shipping routes, and they definitely don't stop the war. That's the sole reason for everything that's happening right now. And that's why comparison with the 1970s is actually quite misleading. Back then the crisis was primarily about oil supply. Today it's oil, gas, and logistics all at once. The Strait of Hormuz alone carries nearly 20% of the world's oil supply, and disruptions there have already choked global shipping. Gas markets are even more fragile because LNG can't be easily replaced, and the loss of Qatar's capacity is already forcing countries to scramble for supply. And this is where the real shift is happening. This war is no longer just about territory or military power anymore. It's about control over energy flows, who can disrupt them, who can protect them, and how far those disruptions can go. Because once energy becomes a battlefield, the consequences don't stay regional, they spread. And maybe that's the biggest takeaway here. The world built safeguards after the last big energy crisis. Strategic reserves, coordination systems, emergency response mechanisms, all designed to prevent another global oil shock. But this war is exposing that these safeguards were built for a different kind of a crisis. And this one is hitting everything all at once simultaneously. This isn't just another escalation in the Middle East, this is a stress test for the entire global energy system. And right now, that system is starting to crack. I'm Abhijit, and you are watching DNA Explained.